Every year, we see these same images. Families on rooftops in Marikina, cars submerged in Bulacan. It's a tragedy that has become a routine. Late last year, the tragedy felt like a betrayal. We were told billions, hundreds of billions were spent on flood control. Yet, the Filipinos are still swimming. And just like clockwork, the circus has come to town. The Philippine Senate has opened its doors. The cameras are rolling and the microphones are hot. We are watching senators grill engineers and contractors in what they call investigations in aid of legislation. But let's be real. Let's be real for a second. Is this really about laws? Or is this about the 2028 elections? In this video, I'd like to talk to you about why the Senate hearings, specifically the current flood control probe, is actually doing more harm than good. While the Senate is busy grandstanding for the cameras, they are actually sabotaging the real work of the NBI and the DOJ. These hearings really is just for viral clip. Alright, let's take a look at the legal cover. The Constitution says the Senate can conduct inquiries in aid of legislation. That's a very specific, very narrow power. It means they should be looking at how to fix the law. If the flood control projects failed, do we need a new procurement law? Do we need better oversight for the DPWH? That is their job. But watch 10 minutes of the current hearing. Are they talking about the nuances of the Republic Act 9184? No. They are shouting at witnesses. They are playing gotcha with bank accounts. They are acting like prosecutors, judges, and executioners all at once. The problem is the Senate has no teeth to convict. They can cite you in contempt. They can lock you in a basement room for a few days, but they cannot send you to Bilibid. Only a court can do that. So why are we spending millions of taxpayer pesos on a televised trial that literally cannot result in a legal verdict? Now here is the dangerous part. This isn't just a waste of time. It's a danger to the actual criminal investigation. When the Senate hauls a witness like Curly Discaya or these DPWH engineers onto the floor and forces them to testify under the glare of a live stream, they are giving the defense a cheat sheet. The National Bureau of Investigation, or the NBI, works in silence for a reason. They build cases piece by piece. They want to surprise a suspect with evidence they didn't know the government had. But in a Senate hearing, every piece of evidence is laid out for the whole world to see. If I'm a corrupt official and I see a witness stammering in the Senate, I know exactly what the NBI has on me. I know which documents to shred. I know which stories to align. We have seen it happen. Witnesses in these hearings often recant later. Why? Because the public pressure and the aggressive questioning in the Senate create procedural lapses. A good defense lawyer will look at a Senate transcript and say, "My client was coerced. His rights were violated in that circus." And just like that, A case that the NBI spent months building gets thrown out of court because the senator's 5-minute viral monologue. We have the NBI for a reason. They are the professionals. They don't need to trend on Twitter to do their jobs. In the recent flood control mess, the NBI actually recommended charges against several sitting and former senators. That's the real work. That's the teat we are looking for. But when the Senate starts its own parallel probe, it creates a he said, she said environment. You have two different bodies asking the same questions, often getting different answers because witnesses are terrified of the cameras. This creates inconsistencies that defense lawyers love. The Senate is literally providing the tools for the corrupt to escape. Now, think about the pork barrel scam years ago. The NBI found it by accident, worked it quietly, and it was the media and the courts that eventually saw it through. The Senate portion? It was just mostly theater. We need to let the NBI spearhead these investigations. They have the forensic accountants. They have the investigators. The Senate? Well, they have speechwriters. So where does this leave us? We're frustrated. You want to see people in jail for the billions lost in these ghost flood control projects. But watching a senator berate a low-level engineer on YouTube isn't justice. It's entertainment. If we want real accountability, we should be demanding that the Senate step back and let the DOJ and the NBI do their work without the distraction of a televised circus. We should be asking the Senate, what law are you actually writing today? Because the answer is none, then you are just grandstanding while our streets stay flooded. Next time you see a fiery Senate clip on your feed, ask yourself, does this help the NBI win in court? Or does it just help a politician win an election? Oh, I think we all know what the answer is. Thank you for listening. See you next time.